Hi. My name's Bethany Marsh, and I'm a professor at the University of Leeds. I'm in the algebra research group.
What is one exciting thing about being a mathematician?
I think a great thing for me is like when I understand something. So when I'm working on my own or with a collaborator, and then I'm trying to prove a result, and then suddenly we can do it. We've understood the proof. Sometimes it takes a long time, but just that feeling of joy. Okay, now we can do it.
Did you have a role model that motivated you to become a mathematician or someone you look up to? And how has this influenced your path?
I think the first main role model was my PhD supervisor, Roger Carter. And he would give these beautiful talks. He was a great expositor. So he was very good at explaining difficult mathematical concepts. And I think since I've seen those talks, I've always aspired to doing something similar. I want to explain things as well as I can. And in fact, I saw him speak. He was giving a course, and that's when I decided I would like to do a PhD with him, and luckily that worked out very well. I think it's also, I think Karen Bauer has also been a role model for me. She is very good at doing a lot of different things, and amazing things, all kinds of different things, and she's very practical, and she'll focus on what are the things we need to do. And when we've sat down to write a paper, she'll suggest that we make a list. What are the tasks that need to be done, and focus really on getting the job done. And I think it's very good for me when I have a tendency to sort of be up in the air a little bit, and so she helps me focus a lot, and she's very inspiring.
What obstacles have you encountered along your journey in science that you believe are specific to the lack of diversity, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, I think a big obstacle for me was not being able to be myself. And for many years, I kept it quiet that I was a trans woman, or I perhaps didn't even realise I was. And I think that was a lot to do with there not being examples around. I didn't see many people who were also trans. And I was scared. I was scared about the way people might react if I came out, if they found out who I really was. And I think I responded to that by working really hard and suppressing thoughts of that kind. And I became very stressed. And in the end, I went to see a therapist because of that stress, to try to find a way forward. And that was the turning point, I think. She helped me to understand who I was, and to realise that the stress was related to that non-understanding. And then one day, I just went to the therapy as Bethany, and then that was a really important day. That was I felt so good after that, and then so then I could sort of progress, and I realised I would then have a whole evening as Bethany afterwards, and I realised I could just sort of gradually introduce myself into my life, and so the choir I was in, I would go as Bethany, and eventually I was able to tell my parents, and then I could really change at work, and so, but that all happened gradually over a period of time.
Reflecting on the challenges in your career, is there any advice for aspiring or early mathematicians who are facing the same obstacles?
Yes, I think this can be very hard, and lots of people feel like they can't be themselves. But I think my advice would be to try to find a way to do that if you possibly can. And so how might this happen? I think talking to people can help a lot. So I just talked to people. How did you come out to your parents? How did you do it? How did you come out at work to get different experiences until I collected enough ideas that related to my own situation that encouraged me to actually be able to do that. So talk to people, try not. You're not alone. There are many people out there who would like to help. But try, if you possibly can, try to find a way to be yourself, to come out. I mean, if as trans or LGBT plus, various possibilities. Because I mean, at least my experience has been once I did that, I became a lot happier. Just transform my life. There are still difficulties and things to face, but I've got that fundamental authenticity to be myself, and that makes everything else easier.
Any last things you want to say?
Go for it. Everybody is a wonderful person at heart. I know that, and if, be who you are. Go out there and change the world.